What's up, y'all? It's Brandon from FleshandBloodBrothers, and today I'm going to be making a new Vynnset deck from scratch and kind of talk through my thought process for you. And this is after the world premiere of Rosetta, so I'm not sure how many Rosetta cards will be available to us yet, but I wanted to get the good foundation going for Vynnset. I just want to try some of the new cards, like Arcane Cussing, for example. Lots more ways to create Rune Chants on non-attack action cards, which will aid us in playing those Runegate attacks from the Banish Zone. So to go over Vynnset's hero ability, at the start of the turn, we banish a card from our hand, and when you do, you create a Rune Chant token. So you have to remember that going into your turn, every turn of the game, you're going to have to banish at least one card from your hand. So our blocking options are limited. We need to plan ahead and have that correct card get banished, and we create a Rune Chant token. And then whenever we play a Shadow non-attack action card, we can pay 1 life. And if we do, the next Rune Chant effect that we deal damage cannot be prevented. So this allows us to play a Shadow non-attack with Go Again. And then if we're playing against Enigma, for example, that first Rune Chant is unpreventable. So anything on the board that is a prevention effect will pop in response. And you can clear the board of that ward and other prevention auras and sigils, for example, coming to Rosetta. So that is a very useful board management ability. And I think that Vynnset will have, she'll be in a better spot than before Rosetta was released. So getting right into it, we're going to start with the equipment. So I have it on generic and Runeblade equipment. You got Arcane Fortress, Skullcap. I'm going to put Balance of Justice in the maybe, because Art of War is now banned, but the Brutes have Bloodrush Bellow to draw 2 cards. The Runeblades, the Earth Runeblades, have Tome of Harvests, which is not banned and might see some play. So I'm going to put this in the maybe, and we'll see how the meta shakes out. Bloodied Oval is also in the maybe, because it is generic offhand, and it'll have Blade Break 1 in the classic constructed format. You never know. Crown of Providence is going in the deck for sure. This is still one of the best helmet pieces, especially in Vynnset, because when you block, you can put a card from your hand or your arsenal down at the bottom of your deck and draw a card. So if we need that critical Runegate attack, or we need a Shadow non-attack action, we can get a chance to filter our hand. And also, Command and Conquer will be seeing play, and this is obviously a very natural counter to Command and Conquer, so that's definitely going in the deck. Okay, Findel Spring Tunic, definitely going in the deck. This is one of the best equipment pieces in the game, and Vynnset plays a little bit slower, sets up those turns, and we can use that 1 resource every few turns for Envelope in Darkness and other 1-cost non-attack actions. Alright, page 2. Lots of generics we don't need. Still. Ragamuffin's Hat, shout out Kano. Spellfray, Stonewall is a maybe, but now that Art of War is banned. Okay, that's the generic equipment. Vambrace of Determination we don't need because we're Vynnset. So, alright, let's get the Runeblade equipment back on board here. Okay, Aether Ironweave is pretty good, but Tunic is just better in Vynnset. Crown of Dichotomy has Arcane Barrier 1. We'll put that in the maybe, depending on how much Arcane Barrier we end up with. We definitely want Dyadic Carapace. This is going to be very useful with the Runeblades running around again. Arcane Barrier 2, also very good against Wizard, obviously. And we got Temper 2. So this is a great armor against Verdansk, for example, who's going to be throwing attack actions and non-attack actions at you, as well as Acilio. Definitely going in the deck. Face Purgatory, new card in Rosetta. I think it's pretty sick. When you defend with an attack and a non-attack action and this helmet, the attacking hero discards a card and you draw a card. So this is very good against brutes as well, and good against aggro decks, ninja. It just throws off a lot of people because they want to have that extra card in their hand as a reaction or a follow-up attack or a resource card to swing their weapon. So this is definitely going in the deck. Flail of Agony. This is Vynnset's signature weapon. You pay a life. You attack for 1 when you hit creates a Rune Chant. Definitely going in. Grasp of the Arknight for sure. It's got that Battle Worn 2. And this is when we shift to a Runegate 2 game plan. You can banish the Runegate 2 attack, pitch a blue card, create a second Rune Chant, and be able to swing your Runegate 2. Definitely going in. Grimoire the Haunt has Arcane Barrier 1 and creates an Eloquence token on demand. And what Eloquence token does is it gives a non-attack action go again. So we use that with Read the Runes, for example. That goes in the deck. So Nebula Blade. There are Nebula Blade builds, but I'm not interested in a Nebula Blade build at this time. And Reaping Blade could see some play just because Verdansk exists. So I'll put that in my maybe and see where we're at. Scepter of Pain is a one-hander, so this is nice to pair with the Flail or the Grimoire. But we deal 1 to any target and create a Rune Chant token for each damage dealt that way. So we don't have access to Amp, unfortunately, in Vynnset, but Scepter of Pain definitely deserves a slot. Spellbound Creepers. Shout out to Spellbound Creepers. I just made a video about all the crazy things this card enables. So definitely going in the deck, and it'll definitely open up a lot of play lines at instant speed. And of course, you got the Vexing Quillhand as an action with Go Again. You destroy the Vexing Quillhand, you get 2 Rune Chants on demand, and it has that Arcane Barrier 1. So definitely going in the deck. So here you go. We got 2 helmets and a maybe. So I'm going to put that in inventory. So by default, I usually want to be rocking the Crown of Providence, the Flail of Agony, the Spring Tunic, the Scepter of Pain, and the Spellbound Creepers. And then it's really a tough call between Vexing Quillhand and Grasp of the Arknight, depending on if you want to go for that blue-centric Runegate 2 play, or if you want to go a little bit more aggressive, block less, but get access to those 2 Rune Chants on demand. And also it gives us another Arcane Barrier 1, so there's a lot of Rune Chants floating around in the format. So I'll say Vexing Quillhand by default for now. So pretty good loadout, pretty standard loadout for Vynnset here. We can swap that Scepter of Pain also for the Bloodied Oval if we want 1 extra health, or the Grimoire of the Haunt for an extra Eloquence token. So okay, we got our equipment dealt with. Now we're going to focus on deck cards, and I'm going to start with Shadow. So like Vynnset says, when you play a Shadow non-attack action, you pay the life and your next Rune Chant cannot be prevented. Beseech the Demigon is one of those bread and butter Shadow actions. Gives the next attack. It gives an attack action card in your banish zone +3 to the end of the turn with Go Again. So we're going to throw 3 of those in the deck because that is our Shadow card, and that is turning on Vynnset's ability and also buffing our attacks. Next, I'm going to look at Bounding Demigon. So you can play it from the Banished Zone if you've played a non-attack action card this turn. And if you do, you play it and it gets +1 attack. So Beseech the Demigon and Bounding Demigon are just a 1-2 punch. I'm going to put this in my deck. It's just a really clean play. And if you draw it up, very clean, very minimal. Play Beseech and play the Bounding, and you got 3, 7, and a Rune Chant that can't be prevented flying at your opponent. Not bad at all. Next up here is Death of the Delight. So this is 5 attack, Runegate 2, but it gains life back. So it's good, but with all these new cards coming in Rosetta, I think this is more of a back burner card. I'm going to throw this in the maybe pile. But Deathly Wail is one of those glue Vynnset attacks. It's a Runegate 3, which is a lot easier to obtain now with these new Rosetta non-attack actions that we'll talk about. But Runegate 3 and attacks for 6. And when the combat chain closes, you create Rune Chant tokens equal to the number of heroes who have lost health this turn. So if you've played a Shadow non-attack, you guarantee that both players will lose a life. So when the combat chain closes, you'll create 2 Rune Chant tokens on the back of it. So that just keeps your Rune Gates flowing, keeps the deck moving. It's the bread and butter. It's the glue. Definitely 3 copies here. Eloquent Eulogy. This is a new card from part the Mistveil expansion slot. This is our first and only Runegate 1. So with only 1 Rune Chant in play, we can play this from our Banished Zone without paying the cost. And when the combat chain closes, if a hero has lost health this turn, create an Eloquence token. So whether it's yourself from Vynnset's ability or your opponent from taking damage from this attack or from your Rune Chants, you're going to create that Eloquence token, and that gives you go again on a non-attack action card. So this is definitely going in the deck. All 3 copies. All right, Envelope in Darkness. This is a Shadow Runeblade non-attack, so it turns on Vynnset's ability. It gives your next attack that you Runegate this turn +3 attack power, and you create a Rune Chant. So again, bread and butter, very smooth. This is our Tunic play. You know, without having to pitch a card, we pay we activate the Tunic for 1 free resource, and we're gonna create a Rune Chant, buff our next attack by +3, go again, enable Vynnset's ability, make the next Rune Chant unpreventable. Both heroes will lose life, and you'll turn on your modes from all your Runegate attacks. So what more can I say? 3 in the deck. Alright, coming up next is Funeral Moon. It's a Shadow Runeblade action. You can play it from your Banished Zone, and if any hero has lost health, you can play it at instant speed, and you create a Rune Chant token. These you pair with the Eloquence tokens to give this go again. You played it at instant speed, it gets go again. You get that Phantom action point like I talked about in my Spellbound Creepers video. This is another bread and butter card. There's an argument for 2. There's an argument for 3. I'm just going to go for 3 right now because it's a Shadow Runeblade card and it blocks 3. Ghostly Visit is on the chopping block. It's just a 1-for-4, blocks 3 that you can play from your Banished Zone, so it's kind of vanilla. But with all these new cards coming out in Rosetta, I think we won't have room for it. Let's see. Putrid Stirrings. I'm going to put 2 of these in the maybe. The only reason why is because it costs 3, so you have to pitch a blue. But you can play it from your Banished Zone, and the next attack action card that your Runegate gets +5, and it blocks 3 with go again, and it's a shadow card. Enables Vynnset's ability. You see what's going on here. Requiem for the Damned is a non-attack action that creates an Eloquence token. So similar to the Funeral Moon, this creates Eloquence instead of a Rune Chant. But now that we have the Eulogy, I don't think we need the Requiem for the Damned anymore. I'll put 1 in the maybe pile because I think at most we'll need that 1 if we want. Shadow Riftbind. This is an excellent chain card. I wish I could pull this off in Vynnset, but It's not a Runegate attack, and we just won't be able to pump it up. And shout out to Ripskitter. I was thinking about that in the shower. With all these Runegate cards coming up big, and if you have Eloquence tokens, it can be kind of fun. I'm going to throw one in the maybe pile just to see what we got going here. All right, let's go to page 2. All right, these are more chain cards. All right, shout out to Shadow Puppetry. It's a shadow action, non-attack with Go Again, cost 0, enables Vynnset's ability, gives the next attack action you play +1 and Go Again. If it hits, you can look at the top card of your deck and banish it. So it keeps our banish zone flowing. It gives that +1 and Go Again, so we can swing our weapon afterwards too if we want. And it enables Vynnset's ability. Blah blah blah. 3 are going in the deck. We won't need Slay in theory. Tear Through the Portal is another pretty good shadow card, but we have 3, 6, 9, 12. We might not need it. Shadow, let's see, what does this say? Shadow non-attack action. Yeah, so it's possible. So what this does is it gives a red attack action card in your banish zone Go Again. So it's really not too bad. And if you have your banish zone set up correctly, you can chain together 2 Runegate attacks in one turn, which is pretty impressive. I'm throwing 3 in. We're going YOLO. Phantom Banshee. Shout out Phantom Banshee. It's a Runegate 3 for 7, but Phantom Wraith at 2 for 6 is another bread and butter attack, so I'm going to throw that in the deck. And then Widespread Ruin is our 2 for 6 Runegate, and it banishes cards off the top of both players' decks, so that's pretty cheeky. Here's the yellows. Deathly Wail. Yellow's going in the deck. Again, creating those 2 Runechant tokens is just too powerful to pass up. Yellow Envelope. That's tough. We could... Well, since we only have 3 and we need more Tunic plays, I'm going to put 3 of these in the deck and take out Tear Through the Portal. That way, we have 6 ways to cash in on that Tunic resource. And the yellow is still pretty good. Creates a Rune Chant, and it gives an attack +2. So that's not terrible. Okay, going through the chain cards again. Get into the blues here. Oh yeah, let's not forget Widespread Destruction. So this is Runegate 3 for 6. And this banishes cards from the arsenal when players lose health for the turn. So this is definitely going in the deck. The arsenal is just a critical piece. Every single opponent's going to be using their arsenal. So let's rock with it. So here so far we have 36 out of 60 cards. We haven't got to the generic Runeblade cards yet. These are still just the shadow cards. So we have a pretty heavy shadow deck. We might have to cut some cards out here. Now going on to the blues. I will shout out to Chains of Mephitis. Now that Art of War is gone, you know, this card isn't really necessary right now. I'll throw it in the maybe just because I like it. And it depends on how much Tome of Harvests and is gonna mess with things. And then I'm gonna throw in the blue Deathly Wail for sure. It still attacks for 4 and gives us that those Rune Chants. Not interested in blue block 2s per se right now. Oblivion, that goes in the inventory for sure, the sideboard, because you do need 6 Rune Chants but you do create the Nazareth Soul Harvester ally that attacks for 6 every turn, so that's pretty cool. Let's see. Ripskitter, chain cards. I've tried Shadow Verser multiple times in Vynnset, and it's just not good enough. And then I'll probably throw in Phantom Wraith blue, another blue block 3, and you know we got wizards running around too, so we do need some blue. And then we still have 3 copies of Widespread Annihilation. It's a Runegate 4, but it banishes cards from people's hands. So we're gonna throw that in the deck. That's definitely a Vynnset card. All right, we got our Shadow. Now let's get our Runeblade cards. So talking Runeblade only. We don't want too many of these. We mostly want the non-attacks to create rune chants and stuff for us. So we're looking. These are all Viceroy cards, and okay, these are only attack actions. Oh, I'm tripping. Okay, here we go. All right, Arcane Cussing. All right, great. This does cost 1, so this is another play with our tunic counter. But when you deal or are dealt damage, you destroy it. And then when it leaves play during your turn, you create 3 Runechant tokens. So when you deal or are dealt damage. Okay, yeah. So against wizards, this is kind of like a gotcha card, but as Vynnset, you're going to deal damage with your unpreventable Rune Chant. So you're going to deal damage and create 3 Rune Chant tokens behind the stack in response. And if you have Go Again, if you have Spellbound Creepers, if you get that other action point, you can Runegate 3 again, or you can end your turn with 3 Rune Chants and have a guaranteed Runegate 3 or 4 on your next turn. So this is a glue kind of card. I'm going to put 3 in my deck. Let's look at Condemned to Slaughter. Aura Permanence. I'm going to put this in the maybe. I don't know if Aura Permanence is going to be a big problem in Vynnset or not. All right, Deadwood Dirge. This is a new card from Rosetta. Destroy an aura you control. If you do, create 3 Runechant tokens. This is an excellent Vynnset card because you're going to have incantations with no counters left on them, or you're going to have 1 Runechant. You're going to turn that into 3 Runechants, and then unleash one of these Runegate 3 attacks. We're going to put that in our deck. Anything that enables Deathly Wail is a good card, in my opinion. So let's look at this. Okay, this is a Runeblade block. So that's cool. You prevent damage and create rune chants. That's cool. I don't really know if I want to be doing that in Vynnset. It's a maybe. It's kind of cool. All right, going through here again. Hocus Pocus. So Maverian Skies is a very contested card in Vynnset. When I play it in my testing and in my real life experience, most of the time your attacks are not hitting unless you're buffing them up. And to buff them up and play Maverian Skies, you need to take a shitload of damage in the turn before. I'm going to pass for now. As much as I hate to say it. Read the Runes. Still good. I'm going to throw it in my deck. Enables the Runegate 3. And we have Eloquence generation now. Runeblade Incantation. Again, creates those rune chants at the start of your turn. And then As it gets emptier, you can Deadwood Dirge it out off the table for 3 more Rune Chants. I think it is good. All right. Sigil of Suffering, no. Attacks, we don't really need. Going through yellows now. Going through. Reduce the Rune Chant. I do want the red version of that. I don't know where that went. I gotta find that real quick. Where are you, Reduce the Rune Chant? Did I miss it? Oh, there it is. Reduce Rune Chant's awesome. I'm gonna throw it on my sideboard. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, getting to the blues here. This is a new card. It's pretty cool. I mean, you deal arcane damage for that unpresentable Rune Chant. You play this at instant speed, get an action point back, and then if your attack hits, you can look at their hand, choose a card, and discard it. Man, that's pretty sick, but you do need a Shadow Non-Attack and this card. So it does need to be set up. I don't know, man. I'm going to put this in the maybe just because that is pretty strong. Could be good against cards, against decks that let us keep cards in our hand more often. That's what's cool about new metas, you know. It's just there's so many things to think about, and it's fun. All right, getting to the blues. Yeah, I'm not seeing where are we at here. 57 cards in deck. 71 out of 80 total. We're doing pretty good. Oh. The next Runeblade attack action card you play this turn gets overpower. And if you've played or created an overturn, this gets go again. Yeah, so this is made for Vynnset, man. This is so good. It's a blue block 3, cost 0. Gives that Runegate card overpower and go again, so you can swing your weapon too. Oh my god, that's good. So this is just pure gas going in the deck. Pure gas, made for Vynnset. Let's see what other blues we have in here. Sigil of Deadwood. So it gives you an extra Rune Chant. Blue block 2. How many cards we got left? 6. No, that's valuable sideboard space. Okay. So we have those. We still need to look through generics. And there's a lot of generics to go through. What we're looking for is not necessarily generic attacks. I'm more interested in... I mean, Command and Conquer is good, but we're not pitching. So just something that we need like in the sideboard or certain matchups. So maybe something like Sink Below would be good. Oasis Respite is another Tunic play we can call upon. So I'm just going to scan through these a little bit. But yeah, I think Oasis Respite deserves inventory space now that we got Wizards being injected into the meta and possible arcane damage from other classes as well, like Runeblade. And it does help against Dominate as well. I'm gonna put 3 Sink Below as well in the inventory. And I think those are all the generics I want to be messing with for real. I could be missing something, but Vynnset, you want to stick to the Shadow and the Runeblade game plan, I would say. Just doing a scan, Pommel's also good, but again, you have to pitch for that, and it's not super reliable. Remembrance, that all you got. Amulet of Echoes. Requiem of the Damned. Yeah, just doing a little scan of Ruski here of the generics. Lead the Charge is not bad. Lead Charge ain't bad at all, actually, but we're out of cards. You know, this deck ain't really too bad, if I gotta say. So here we are. Just a quick overview now. We have our 80 cards total, okay? We have our starting equipment. We have 60 cards in our deck. And we have 14 cards in our sideboard. So our sideboard includes our defense reactions and Oblivion and Oasis Respite. So by default, we're going to be rocking Runegate 4 attacks, Runegate 3, Runegate 2. We got an insane new non-attack action that gives us Overpower and Go Again. That's pretty awesome. We have our Tunic plays with Envelope in Darkness and Arcane Cussing. We have our Shadow non-attacks to enable our hero ability. The Deadwood Dirge to create 3 Runechant tokens at the cost of 1. Best Runegate 3, Deathly Wail. We have our Runegate 1 to create Eloquence for our Read the Runes. Incantation to give us extra rune chance at the start of our turn. Shadow Puppetry to go wide and buff us up and enable our hero ability. So this is looking pretty tight. This is looking like a pretty sick Vynnset deck. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what cards you think I'm missing. I know not all the Rosetta cards will be in here yet in FaBrary. And shout out to FaBrary for being an awesome website and an awesome tool to use. And let me know what you think of the deck. What cards in the maybe pile deserve a spot. What do you think the deck's strengths and weaknesses are? We'll do some play testing with this. But tonight I just kind of wanted to talk you through my deck building process and peel back the curtain. And if you were curious about Vynnset Iron Maiden, you know, obviously we focus heavily on the Shadow non-attacks, Runeblade non-attacks that generate rune chants, and our big payoff attacks like Deathly Wail, Eulogy, Widespread Ruin, Destruction, Annihilation. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you learned something. And if you want to look at this deck, I'll have it linked down below, and you can play the deck yourself in some test games. And until next time, I will see you in the next video.